It's not all glamorous. This is what I wake up to this morning. Staying at Walmart parking lot. They've got these bins here for clothing donations and whatnot. And really, that wasn't like that when I went to sleep last night. Excuse me, world. It's very ignorant, which is kind of silly because it definitely came from a place of good, right? Donate some clothes, but like, ugh. All right, we got to do something about that. Don't you just hate it when you have guests over to your house and they just leave a mess? Welcome back to the channel, guys. I don't really know what's gonna happen today, so let's see what happens organically on this entry of the vlog.
Welcome to Walmart. $9.
I'm sorry, $9 for mats? Even after I rang that in, the little teller there, the little helper came up and looked at them and she's like, "Oh, they're on sale? Do we have more?" I think she wanted to buy some. They were the last ones on the rack. I guess they're probably a holdover from Black Friday. Pays to wait. And boom. It ain't pretty, but it's covering up exactly what I need it to, which is that line right there. I need to get in there and sort of vacuum that out first, but this mat will prevent any water from getting in there as long as I keep my feet right on it. Don't put them there, Matt. If you watched the end of my last video, you'll know that I kind of had the idea to do another 30 days of van life just to get caught up, because I have gone ham with filming and I've had content right up until January 7th, which is crazy for me to think because right now it's only December 5th. So I am gonna do exactly that, except I'm not gonna do it exactly like the last time I did. It's not gonna be every single day for 30 days. It's just gonna be moments. That's why I started this entry with some random footage that I had captured and didn't know where to put it. This is the start of that, and I'm doing it again. Nice clean shaven face, and we'll see what it all looks like at the end of it. It'll be fun because it's gonna encompass Christmas and New Year's. I'm searching for daycare for my daughter and hopefully starting a new job within there, although that might be a little presumptuous because I might need till the middle of January in order to find the daycare before I can start the job, and it's a whole thing. I am excited to sort of just catch up with my videos. I've been stressing myself out, thinking that I need to stick to a schedule. I need to have content and content and content, and I guess that's true to a certain extent, but at this point I feel so disconnected from my audience because today a video went live that was like around Halloween, and like I said, it's December 5th today, so that's kind of a little silly. And I want to, in the new year, get over the pressure I've been putting on myself to have like 3 van videos a week. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to restructure everything, but I know that I'm going to do my hardest to not stress myself out and then get so far behind or far ahead, depending on how you look at it, when it comes to my van vlogs. This is the first day of starting this new video. I am currently running around getting keys cut to replace the ones that I lost. Again, if you saw the last video, you know. So yeah, moving on. And here we go. Just in case you were wondering why my Christmas special video had a shot of the carriage house within its, I guess, montage of Christmas light footage, if that's where I ended up putting it. It's because I'm walking out of there right now on December, I don't even know, 7th? My parents showed up unexpectedly a couple days ago just to come see my daughter and spend some time with me, drop off Christmas gifts and all that good stuff. So there, if you're really paying attention and wondering why, that's why. It's a really nice hotel and it's got pretty lights. Well, I better record this instead of just avoiding it because it is a bad thing that happened. But I don't even know what today is, December 9th or something, or 8th, I don't know. but I just ran into Walmart to use the washroom. I kicked on the heater before I left to get the cab warmed up. I came back. All I can smell is diesel. Heater's not running. My LCD panel is flashing error 10. Well, not flashing error 10, but it shows error 10 with the flashing little colored lights at the bottom. And I go in here underneath my sink, and I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. But the fuel filter's got a huge crack in it. So it's good that the system shut itself down, but I don't have heat. So I'm frantically looking on Amazon right now to try to find a replacement for that fuel filter. Everything I find so far says it doesn't arrive till after the new year. That's not great. So yeah, the worst thing that could happen, I don't know if it's the worst thing that could happen, but in terms of like it being winter, the heater's gone down. I'm gonna have to get my Mr. Buddy out, I guess, which isn't here, it's in storage. Oh boy. I don't know, I figured I might as well capture as much of this as I can. I am finding myself in a little bit of a pickle here. The filter has come apart. I don't know if it was supposed to be designed that way. This is the lid. So hang on. We're in a little bit of a stage 5 meltdown here. I've cleared off my water station area, and I'm gonna use this as sort of my makeshift workbench. I haven't ordered anything off Amazon yet. What I'm gonna attempt to do is good old, well, Gorilla Tape. I was gonna say duct tape, but I don't have any. The lid back on. I have to get the filter completely disassembled from the line. So it's an inline fuel filter, right? So there's fuel that has to be dealt with. I'm lucky that I actually had like a 6-pack of paper towel in the van with me. So we've got lots of means of sort of sopping any spills up. Oof, this is a nerve-wracking situation to say the least. So I figured I'll film it and see, try and stay in good spirits as long as I can. Because this is a situation that could very quickly escalate into, I don't even know what the word would be. Very, very upsetting. I don't know if this is a combination of it being cold, cheap, or what, but I have no idea how this actually happened. It's completely right there. So that's where the crack is. So that's what we're going to attempt to tape. Shouldn't be that hard once we get this cleaned out. I might not even have to take the other end off. I'll see if I can. You really need to stay in the back, Stella. No, you need to go back. Come on. Go back. Stay back there, okay? Trying to get us some heat. Having the cats, whoops, sorry, garbage bag in the way. Having the cats in here is not making this easier, that's for sure. And this is the other half of the fuel filter. That's where the lid screws onto. That's the gasket. I don't know if I'll be able, my hope is I don't have to take it off the line here. This is the line that runs to the fuel tank. If I can just repair this part with the tape and then get it back on there and get it reattached to that end of the line, then we might be okay. But this is definitely out of the realm of anything I've ever dealt with or done, but I don't have a choice. It's my house, right? So this is one of those things. So yeah, I'm going to get this cleaned up and see if I can get it taped and investigate further. So I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of just taping this, I'm gonna get this area cleaned up so the cats can not get at anything. And it's still, I think, early enough. I'm gonna run back into Walmart and actually get super glue to actually glue inside that brake line, and then I'll tape it as well. Just because I think if I just tape it, that's just gonna invite the fuel to come right into the tape and eventually peel it off. So it's going to be a long night, but that's what I'm going to attempt. So I gotta get going before the store closes. Okay, so no, I was not paying attention to the time. It is literally 5 minutes after 11, so Walmart is done. All of the employees are literally walking out of the store right now. My last option here, as far as I know, is to find a Shoppers Drug Mart that is open until midnight, and there's 2 in my area. I have maybe enough time to hit both. I pray that the first one I go to has crazy glue. If not, I'm back to the taping solution. This is gonna be, oh my God, I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow. Wow. When it rains, it pours. Hey, ain't wrong. Okay, made it there in time. Sorry if it's loud. I have the van running just to sort of give us some heat. It's not super cold right now, and I checked the temperatures. It's not gonna be crazy for the next few days. I found another filter online. It comes with fuel line and clamps and everything. It was the only one that will arrive in a short period of time. Everything else was like into the new year. I think I already mentioned that. It's been a night. I'm all over the place. That should be here Sunday, so we'll only have to live through a couple nights of cold temperatures if this doesn't work. But it was Gorilla Glue. not crazy brand, crazy glue or whatever, but hopefully this works. I just used a Q-tip to clean out inside the crack, to try to soak up any fuel that remains. And then the nice thing about this Gorilla Glue one is it comes with a nozzle and a brush, so I'm just gonna use the brush and see how this goes. And now the fun part of Crazy Glue, let's just hold it together for a minute or so. The unfortunate thing is that the label says give it 24 hours to completely cure. I guess I could do that because my thought is if I don't, then diesel running through that is just gonna disintegrate the glue, I would assume. I don't know. But that would mean living without the heater tonight, which is doable. I can bundle up and the cats will be fine. They are wearing fur coats, but it's still, I don't want them to be uncomfortable. So we'll probably risk it and try booting the heater up in like an hour or so. Chances are it won't even work. I have to figure out how to reset the error message on the LCD. So that's all I'm doing. Gluing this, I'm gonna, and then tape it, and I'm gonna screw it back onto the other end of the little canister and hope for the best, let you know. Okay, so it's the next morning. It didn't work. Exactly what I thought would happen happened. I was too impatient with the super glue and it started leaking again. So I reapplied the super glue and just left it and bundled up, had 2 blankets. Like I said, it was only about -8, so it wasn't like end of the world, super emergency stuff. And the cats stayed quite close to me. They they came under the blankets and stayed warm, which was great on occasion, right? It wasn't great on occasion. They came under the blankets on occasion. And so now my plan for today is when I get the opportunity, when it opens, I'm gonna go to Canadian Tire, I'm gonna get some Plumbers Tape, use that, and then screw it back together and give it one more shot. I tested the little lid of the filter this morning where I had reapplied the super glue, and now that it's sat overnight, it seems a lot more solid. We'll try it with the Plumbers Tape, and if it starts to leak again, I'm just going to most likely bypass the filter altogether. I have some leftover fuel line from when I first installed the diesel heater, and today's Thursday. The new filter is supposed to arrive by Sunday. It's not gonna get much colder than last night, but I do kind of feel bad for the cat, so we may just bypass that fuel filter and use the heater. I'm assuming that would work. The fuel filter is just there to filter stuff. It's not like it would prevent the system from working if it wasn't there, I don't think. As crappy as this situation is, it's also kind of fun because it's a learning experience and I get to kind of feel like I'm jerry-rigging stuff. So we will try that Plumbers Tape and let you know how that works. Okay, it's probably really loud in here. I've got the diesel heater running. I also have the doors open because I've jerry-rigged it together with the Plumbers Tape. So I put Plumbers Tape on the inside threading just like you would a regular water pipe. And then I reattached the lid that I had super glued, and then I put more Plumbers Tape around that crack and around the pump, and then I covered the Plumbers Tape up with Gorilla Tape. So there, can't see if I can do this without getting a whole bunch of shadow. So there's my solution for now, and it's actually working. So sorry, that clicking is really loud. You're right next to the fuel pump, which is right there. You can't really see it here, and it's not as bad as it was. Let's see, but there are little tiny air bubbles going through the fuel line, which I'm assuming is happening because the fuel filter housing is compromised. Even though I super glued it and have all of that tape on there, it's still allowing in a little bit of air. Now the scary thing that happened is this started to fill with exhaust. That's because I turned it on once the very first time after I applied this fix, and it ran for a bit and then it got an error code 8. The one from last night was error code 10. This was error code 8, which was flame extinguished or whatever. I think that's because there was so much air in the line. So then I let it do its cycle down and I started it right back up immediately. The air bubbles aren't as bad, but it had a whole bunch of fuel built up in the chamber and the whole cab started to fill with exhaust. So I had the back door open wide. It's not open wide right now, but I have my fan going to blow it through and out, and it's cleared. And down in here, let's see if I can see. That's the actual diesel heater itself. And all here, there was a little bit, that's where the exhaust was coming out, was around here. So it was the chamber of the heater itself was just burning off that excess fuel, I think. So we've still been running, or we're still running, sorry. And it's been probably about 10 minutes. and we're still getting nice hot air right here. Keeping my eye on there. I've got the blue paper towel down to see if the fuel filter housing springs another leak. Right now, I've got a lot of confidence that this... Oh, something turned off. I was like, what died? It's the heater's still going, but the fan back there just died. I've got some confidence that this should last me 1, 2, for 3 nights. I wanted to at least get this done patched so it would work, because you never know with Amazon, anything could happen, they could get delayed. But I'm glad I didn't have to bypass the fuel filter. I will still do that if this stops working again, but for now we've got heat, which is good. So I'll keep you updated, but if you don't hear back from me on this matter, I just got everything was fine. I got the new fuel filter installed. That was an adventure. I can't make this stuff up. Okay, so this is the end of the day when I jerry-rigged the diesel heater fuel filter. It's running. You can probably hear it blowing, making the living space nice and warm. I shit you not. I got in the van about 45 minutes ago, turned on the heat. We drove down to the gas station to fill it up, turned it back on. As soon as I was done filling up, no movement from my blower, from the internal stuff in the van. So I'm not getting, my heat's not blowing, my air conditioner's not blowing, the fan is not doing anything. It just stopped dead. It was blowing hot and fine all the way down. It's almost like turning it off killed it. So I got nothing. Which, I mean, for tonight, it's fine. At least the diesel heater is working. I'm gonna keep my eye on the patch job that I did. But are you kidding me? At the same time, within 24 hours, both my heating sources go, because that's what I was doing last night, is I was running lucky and filling up the cab with heat from the engine. Now I can't do that if the diesel heater goes down. So I just did a little bit of a dive online. I found out that it could be a resistor, and it looks like it's fairly easy to replace, although it's pitch black out. I can't do much about it now, but I am gonna start by checking my fuses. I don't know where the fuse to the blower motor is. I don't think it's under my seat. I think it's in the engine bay, which is a bit of a pain to get to. I don't like leaving things. I would be smart to just leave it till tomorrow, but it's gonna scratch at the back of my mind, so I'm gonna get out and take a peek at that and see how the fuses look. Wouldn't that be nice if it was just a fuse? So this is the resistor. It's on the passenger side of the engine bay. And it's just this bolt there, and one more over there that look pretty rusted that pops this whole thing off. So that'll be what I check tomorrow if I have no luck with the fuses. The fuse box is all the way down there. So that's what I'm gonna check right now. Okay, so that's the fuse for the blower according to the legend. And I got the multimeter out here. I mean, I've already done this, so this is really just for you. The fuse is good. I set it to what looks like the Wi-Fi symbol, which I guess is continuity. And then I touched the leads of the battery monitor. That means the fuse is good. So it ain't the fuse. Sad day. Okay, so the patch job is still working on the diesel heater. It is chugging away. I'm keeping my eye on it down here. Let me show you. Come down here, hit the flashlight, and I got that blue paper towel back there to see if any leaks start. So far, so good. It's just, really? That goes yesterday. I just get it patched and then that happens. I mean, I found if it is the resistor, there's a part at Auto Value I should be able to get there when they open first thing in the morning at 8 a.m. I will pull that part out first and get it and look at it to see. It should be pretty obvious. It's got little connectors that can look burned out if it goes bad. If it's not that, then the next step is the actual blower motor itself. I hope it's not that. But either way, we are nestled in here. It is definitely an eggnog with a rum and cinnamon sort of night. Because someone somewhere is having a really good laugh at my expense. That's crazy coincidence. I did lose a set of keys though, so hopefully that's 3, like my cousin said. Keys, diesel heater, blower motor. that's it. Let's get to Christmas. It's funny because this vlog entry was supposed to be like the next 30 days of my van life. It has now turned into this panic when it's freezing and you don't have heat. We'll keep rolling though and chugging on through because I want to catch up. Good morning, guys. All right, so night was fine. Diesel heater kept trucking along. There's a little bit of leaking happening around the filter that I repaired. The good news is the last time I talked about it, I mentioned how sometimes Amazon can be late, but what has happened is what happens more often than not, and the replacement filter should be here today. So that's excellent news. I am now layered up. I've got 4 layers on. It's not super cold. I think it's about -7, -8. But when you've got zero way of warming the area around you, I'm thinking these layers are going to help. Time to get back under the hood and just sort of see where the problem might be. I can test a few electrical connectors to try to rule out the resistor and hone in on the blower motor, and hopefully we can get that situation figured out today and get Lucky's cabin heat back. Okay, so just to sort of show you what's going on here, I'm not going to turn the engine on or it'll be too loud when it's running, but if I turn it to auxiliary, come over here, you can see that my heater is on. And this is the speed setting, right? Low, medium, extra medium, and high. Nothing. You should be hearing it go quite loud coming out of the vents there when it's on this setting, but nothing. Okay, so sort of good news. Those little prongs in there, those silver prongs, they all look good. None of them look burned out. And under here on this side of the connection, none of these look burned out either. So while that sucks because that would have been the easier solution, that now leads me to believe that it actually is the blower motor itself. So we'll have to remove the coolant reservoir and then this guy will come out. And what I was doing with the voltmeter, I was just testing to make sure that this plug was getting power, which it is. You saw the 14 volts, the fan was running. So yeah, that's where we go next. All right, so there's a part number. Hopefully this is the one. Hopefully it'll fit. What I'm gonna do now, before I install it, because it's got a whole bunch of weather stripping and every other thing on it, I'm just gonna connect it and see if I can get this thing to spin. Well, that's a good sign. She spun right up. And I got to remove this. It is a 10mm bolt, and that should be all that's sort of holding the reservoir in place. All right, so got that out of the way. As far as I know, sorry, my shadow's going to be making this really hard to work with. It's just these 3 bolts, one over here, one there, one down below that hold this sucker in. And then this hose will have to be probably transferred from this blower to the new one. And these guys, I don't know, online it says that they're 5.5 millimeters. Canadian Tire only had fractions. Well, they didn't have 5.5 millimeters. So I did a conversion and that was supposed to be a 1/4 inch. It is not. So now I've got a 7/16, I think, and it should do the trick. 7/32s, not 7/16. Don't want to lose these little guys. So there's the old blower motor. I'm just gonna double check, make sure it's not working. There's no binding. Well, that's weird. So I don't necessarily need the new one. What the hell's going on? Okay, hang on. Okay, well that's really weird. Now it's working. I want to see if it comes up to temp and blows hot. And if that's the case, we'll just return that other blower motor. Weird. It was not doing anything earlier. I got to start the van and I want it to get hot though. All right, let's give this a few minutes. Okay, so that's a first for me. Low, medium, second medium. Hi. And it's all working now. So I just ran back into the store to make sure that they'll do a return for me. I still have the other blower motor right here, and at the very least, I'm gonna hold on to it for today to see, you know, if it goes again. I've never seen that happen. So if that happens to you, maybe just try removing your blower motor from the chassis and putting it back. That makes no sense. That shouldn't make it work. But who knows? I mean, there was a leaf in there. It was removing the leaf clearly made that motor work. So now just gotta wait for the diesel heater fuel filter to get here, and we'll be back in heated bliss. This is ridiculous. I was just taking off all my layers, thinking, okay, we're good to go. I mean, it is warm out. I don't need my layers on. And now it's not working again. Like, who is in charge of this? No, I messed with all the gauges again, and you can hear it changing where it's blowing. I can hear stuff moving up there. But the fan, again, is not... I don't know what to say. There are no words. This is, it's gotta be the motor then, right? It's gotta be that blower. It's just like right at the end of its life. So I guess I'll just bite the bullet, and holy Dinah, this has been a roller coaster of emotions. Okay, so did it again, took the fan out, plugged it back in, it started working. I'm not gonna continue to mess with this. This is the resistor, so this is the end that plugs into the blower motor. And this is the part that was sitting with the big white connector. So just 2 screws took it out, and I don't know if this is supposed to, what this is supposed to look like, but it's very rusty in there. And this green part has cracks and stuff on it. So I think I'll go get one of these, try it with the old blower motor first, and then go from there and just replace this rusty old part. I'm not 100% sure how a resistor works, but I imagine it doesn't last forever. Okay, got the new resistor. Looks a little nicer, not as rusty. Fingers crossed. All right, well, we are all systems go for right now. I will be keeping my eye on it. Make sure you pick up your garbage. Engage it throughout the day, but for now I'm gonna get on with the rest of it. Everything is blowing. If it quits in 5 minutes, well, we'll deal with it later, and I'll let you know later tonight, because I quite frankly want to get out of this parking lot. Far too much time has been spent here already. All right, hopefully we can bring this epic disaster to its conclusion pretty quick. We got the new filter right here. It's obnoxious because it's the only one I could find is one that comes with like this insane amount of fuel line and a whole bunch of new connectors and whatnot, which I don't need any of that. I just need this guy right here. All right, right, so I got the new filter on there. Just turned on the diesel heater. It's doing its spin up cycle, and then that little sucker's got to fill with fuel. Hopefully there's no leaks, and then we should be good to go. I am expecting this thing to clog, fail, and I'll have to restart it. We're probably going to exhaust off a bunch of fumes again because that's a lot of air that's going to inevitably go through the line. Yeah. Awesome, no exhaust burn off at all. So we are in good shape. I'm gonna do one last thing, and we are going to put a nice bow and ribbon on this whole experience. Hopefully. Okay, so there is my solution. This is something my grandfather would be very proud of me over, I'm sure. So I cut a little piece off the corner of the top mattress layer I have. I bought an extra 1-inch mattress topper quite a while ago. I cut a chunk out of it because Vanlife, and I wrapped it around the filter because I don't know why it broke, but my suspicion is it got really cold. This area doesn't tend to get any heat. I guess I could alleviate that by cutting a hole like right here. But this stays pretty cold, so the plastic probably got cold, and then I think it probably either got knocked against this wall or one of the water jugs bumped into it and caused that crack. So I'm hoping, I'm gonna reposition this so we can't see it, but tighten that up a bit. But that's a nice little added insulation and security. And security. It's very safe. It's a very safe fuel filter. So I'd be lying if I said this whole little experience and detour with my heating situation didn't discourage me a bit. That first night when the diesel heater broke, there were moments where I was cursing quite emphatically and wondering if I'd made huge mistakes, but I think that's par for the course. And I buckled down and I dealt with it. We were one night without heat and one night without cab heat. So it's a total of 2 nights, not bad. One uncomfortable night and one sort of uncomfortable morning driving, but that's nothing. I know that this could have been a far worse situation, but we buckled down. I buckled down and dealt with it. And now Lucky is good to go on all fronts again. And I'm not ignorant. It just makes me wonder what the heck is going to happen next. Okay, so December 11th, I just spent the majority of the day inside the public library. I had to edit a quick video to say a huge thank you to everybody that came on over from Van City Vanlife's channel today. You've probably seen that video. Today has been surreal, and it came right on the heels of my diesel heater breaking and my blower motor breaking, and getting those fixed, well, was great that I was able to do it in such a timely fashion. It still left me feeling pretty down and disheartened. So then to wake up today and see that and have my subscriber count go through the roof has been such an incredibly positive experience. When I made my thank you video, I was at like 490 subscribers, and when I uploaded it, it was already obsolete when it came to those numbers. And when I left the library, I was gonna say theater, when I just left the library the last time I checked, I was at like 1570 subscribers. That's nuts. And I know I said thank you, but there's even more of you now. So thank you so much. And I can't even begin to start dwelling on the fact that there's got to be something going on in the universe, that this came right at the tail end of those negative things that happened. I was feeling despondent about the whole situation for sure. So that was a nice little justification. We'll do one more check at the end of the day because this is a pretty cool feeling, you guys. Thank you. We'll see you in the next clip.